Hi everybody, welcome to the Wandering Poet Cafe. Today's video is all about what is a poetry chapbook and how can you get one published. So a poetry chapbook is a short collection, 20 to 40 pages of poems centered around a central theme or subject and delivered in the format of a pamphlet or a magazine in that they are saddle stitched. They can have a homemade effect with thread, staples, and other materials, or they can feel very official. What's nice about a poetry chapbook is it is cheaper to get published, and so they don't cost quite as much. And it can also serve as a proof of concept to take to literary agents or full-length book publishers to try to get a collection of yours published in the future. So let's jump over to Masterclass here. This is by Billy Collins, very successful contemporary poet. He explains on the origins of poetry chapbooks. They date back to 16th century England. They, from a written account from Cambridgeshire in 1553, describes little books sold by peddlers likely containing lyrics to sung ballads. They were cheap and provided cheap entertainment for the masses. The term chapbook dates back to 1824, takes its name from a chapman, which was an English word for a itinerant or on the move peddler or tradesman, and the word chap also shares the word cheap with its origin. So that is the origins of chapbooks. Moving on, how to write your own chapbook, know your audience. First thing to be aware of is it's quite difficult to get poetry published. This is true. So the biggest reason to write a chapbook is to reach a dedicated poetry fans, a tiny but devout slice of the general population. Focus on a theme. For instance, love, winter, death, New York City, 24 hours in a day, and then include cover art, of course, a painting, drawing, photo, whatever. 4 tips, how to get your poetry chapbook published. Seek out a publisher, enter a contest, self-publish. So on that note, let's jump over to poetry contests. There are many of them. There are many chapbook competitions from different publishers: Black Lawrence Press, Black River Chapbook Competition, Center for Book Arts, Rattle, Chapbook Prize, the Chapbook Review, the Driftwood Press 2025 Adrift Chapbook Contest, Wolfson Press, Grayson Books, Anna Maria Caballero, Schedule of Poetry Chapbooks. So there's lots of options. One that I will check out here. Here's Black Lawrence, Black River Chapbook Competition. Happens twice a year. Chapbooks are 16 to 36 pages in length. If you win, you get book publication, $500, and 10 copies. Perfect Bound features striking cover designs. Each receive an ISBN and are distributed nationally through small press distribution. So that is standard if you're dealing with a reputable press. Here is Finishing Line Press, which I am going to check out because this is my publisher that I got my first chapbook published with back in 2014, so over 10 years ago now. And that was called Song of Rainswept Sand. And Finishing Line Press, one of the larger chapbook publishers. To show you the submissions process, which is pretty standard across publishers. Chapbooks are up to 34 pages. You submit your chapbook plus a bio, acknowledgments, a self-addressed stamped envelope, and cover letter, although now it's all done online. And then they also do full-length books, 48 to 100 pages. But yeah, that is basically the gist of it. You got to follow along, see what times of the year are they accepting manuscripts, but either a chapbook contest or just looking up presses and going to them to try to find one is the best way to go about getting a chapbook published. And so to give you a sense of what one looks like, here's my chapbook, Song of Rainswept Sand, published 10 years ago now, back cover with blurbs about it, little author bio and photo, ISBN number, inside dedication, copyright, acknowledgments, and then the poem. This is a long sequence love poem, 28-page love poem, which is a nice kind of thing for a chapbook. And what's great is then, in addition to the ISBN and being available on sites like Amazon, your book, poetry, will be on Goodreads, in quotes, not the whole thing, so people can read it, check it out, see if they want to order a copy, and just get more familiar with your work, getting it out there on a large platform. And so right now I am also in the process of getting a new chapbook published. And as you can see, the date for that is going to be April 15th through June 20th, the pre-publication sales period. So I'm gonna make more videos so you guys can see what's going on as far as what the process of publishing looks like if you want to get into it, or if you are already publishing, want to compare. And I'll show you what the press kit looks like and the whole process. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, also weekly poetry readings and poetry lessons about different forms of poetry from around the world, check out the channel, The Wandering Poet Cafe, and we will see you next time, hopefully. Bye.